What's up guys and welcome back to Tech Plant. Today I'm going to show you how to save a plant that's deeply infected and it's got quite an amazing recovery. Let's check it out. Alright, so the question begs, can we save this Philodendron jeopii? I'm not sure how to pronounce it, never can, never will. But anyways, it's looking pretty nasty. However, I never give up on anything and everything is always worth a try, if not for the learning experience and just as an experiment in general. You can see right off the bat this tissue culture is quite contaminated. I left it sit for a while and just let things run its course, and now it's time to save it. So the first thing we got to do is remove it from this nasty jar and just check on the actual plant and see what kind of condition it's in. Overall, after I washed all the goop off and all the mold, it doesn't look horrible. However, I'm kind of suspect because with all that mold just growing in there, I'm not really sure like how infested the plant might be, what the condition is once it like sits out in the open, and just what's going to happen. So this will be a very interesting experiment. The stuff that was growing on the actual agar is some Scoby from some kombucha or whatever. I probably butchered those words, but just kidding. I think this is some sort of bacteria growth though, and we are going to discard this nasty little thing. Now we are going to use my go-to, and that is sphagnum moss. I was able to get a lot of different tissue cultures to acclimate basically in sphagnum moss in just a clear bin with light, and so we're going to do the same thing with this and we should be okay. But again, we won't know until we let some time pass. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, put it under some grow lights and let some time pass. And so 10 days has passed. Let's open this thing up and take a look. And we can see right away it is not doing good, fam. This thing is quite rotted. I guess it was infested, but you know what? I don't give up on anything. This thing's still got some green left in it, so we are going to give it a shot. The first step though is just the tug and pull method. I like to do this to pretty much like any plant that's not doing so hot. Really what that is just start tugging on it. Whatever falls off was meant to come off eventually, so you don't have to feel bad about it. And that'll leave you with pretty much what the most healthy stuff is that doesn't just deteriorate with a little bit of tugging and pulling. So you can see after I sort of cleaned it up, rubbed it a bit, like I said, tug and pull, and also rub a little bit, kind of smear whatever you can off. I do have a healthy piece of greenery here. It is absolutely small, but again, I love trying things that seem like there's no way to succeed, because sometimes you succeed. So we're going to stick it right back in that sphagnum moss and give it some time. Now I can already hear some of you screaming, no, don't put it back in the same contaminated container, but honestly I don't care. Green is good and I'm not worried about it. So about a month has gone by and you can place your bets. Is it alive? Is it dead? Well, actually it's alive. So when you have the heart of the cards, I learned that from Yu-Gi-Oh! Pretty much anything good can happen, and that's exactly what happened. And we even got a bonus gift. This thing is sticking out a few additional plantlets that we did not have originally just because it went through so much damage. It's activating auxiliary nodes. I guess there's multiple on here. So we got gifted with other plants as well. I did rip off that one really small plantlet on accident, but accidents are always great. So we're going to take that accidental plant and just plop it in the sphagnum moss along with our original plant and just see if it grows. It looks absolutely tiny, so really I'm not sure if it's going to make it. But again, why throw it out when you can just try it? I did drip some water on these guys just to give it some really good local wetness. That way they kind of get the energy and liquid that they need to sort of thrive, and they don't dry out on accident if I leave this go too long. Alright, another month has gone by with it under grow lights, and we can see right away good things have happened. This is why you gotta have heart of the cards, fam. You pull all 5 pieces of Exodia and you just can't lose. But the little plant is actually growing quite fast. I'm surprised by that. I really didn't expect that one to make it. But our main plant is also producing good progress as well. So it's fantastic to see that everything is just living in just sphagnum moss, water, and under grow lights. It's just that easy, folks. Alright, another month has gone by. I just want to check on it, and you can see things are doing well. The little plantlet is still growing, and the main plant is actually getting quite robust here. This one is pretty close to transplanting, but I'm going to give it a little time. I do see roots, so I'm happy to see that, and I even see a third little plantlet, so that's exciting. Let's give it some more time. And by a little time, I mean 2 months. Again, we have let a lot of time go by since the original. I bet you we're almost at, what, the 6-month mark here? But you can see things are still going strong. The plantlet's got a lot more roots. The smallest one is doing good, and you can even see some further growth on that third, even tinier one. So now is a good time to rip that thing off and try and transplant it and see if we can't shock it to death. Now, when I did rip it out of that sphagnum moss, I did leave the original, like, little piece of nodes in there because it did have that third plantlet that's cruising along, and this one doesn't need that main base anymore. It's got its own root structure and it's its own plant at this point, so we don't need to bring that little piece with it, and hopefully we can get that additional third plant out of it. I'm going to pot this one up in a small pot. I'm just going to use my typical mix, which is mostly peat, perlite, and just whatever random crap I've basically dumped back in the bin. I do not practice like sterile soil techniques, and really it's just dirty stuff. There's actually like rotting random stuff in here. You know, it's kind of like keeping your plants in a bubble. They end up being like more fragile in the long run, so I kind of blast them with everything. So I'm just going to pot this thing up nicely, give it some water, and we are going to set it aside with a small humidity dome in there. I don't want to shock it too much because it's been pretty much 100% humidity in that bin for this entire 6 months. So we don't want to just put it out in my like drier house air. So this will give it what it needs to survive for at least a month before we can rip off the Band-Aid. All right, a month and a half has gone by, and you can see right off the bat things are looking fantastic. After about 2 weeks of that humidity dome, I did tear it off, and by humidity dome I just mean plastic bag. These have been under grow lights this entire time, and you can see they're all doing fantastic and growing well. It's really awesome to see that we almost lost the plant, but instead of that, we got the 3-for-1 special, and that is what we love doing here on TechPlant, giving random things a chance and just seeing them blossom. I am going to leave those other two in there a little longer just to let them get big like we saw that first plant that we pulled out, and just give them some time. So eventually we'll have 3 nice healthy plants, and this is just a fantastic reason why you shouldn't give up on plants, because you might as well try and learn something from it. It's always fun, and we got to see that that tiny little piece ended up putting out more plantlets, which was shocking to me, but again, totally worth the experience. Well guys, that pretty much sums up this video. I hope you enjoyed it. It was pretty amazing to see what a little piece of plant could actually produce, and I was happy to see that we got a 3-for-1 special and everything is doing well and healthy. Hope you guys enjoyed watching that journey. It was almost like 8 or 9 months, maybe even a year, I'm not sure, but it took a long time to get where we got, but it was worth it. I hope you guys liked this, and as always, may your plants go strong and healthy. Keep experimenting. I'll see you next time.